There's a new hardware startup from India called Pixelpaw Labs that's trying something pretty unusual with a device most of us use every day, the computer mouse. Their new product, called the Phase Mouse by Pixelpaw Labs, looks fairly normal at first glance. But once you take a closer look, you realize it's hiding a pretty clever trick. At first, the Phase just looks like a regular mouse sitting on your desk. It has a slightly larger base, and you'll immediately notice there's no scroll wheel. That's actually intentional. The design allows the mouse to split cleanly into two separate halves. And when it does, the device transforms into something completely different, a game controller. Once separated, each half works like a handheld controller similar to the ones used with VR headsets. You get joysticks, buttons, a D-pad, and triggers built into the two pieces. It's a really smart piece of design because all those gaming controls are hidden inside something that normally just looks like a simple mouse. Even when you're using it as a regular mouse, it has some interesting features. Since there's no traditional scroll wheel, scrolling is handled through a capacitive touch strip built into the left mouse button. You simply flick your finger across it to scroll through web pages or documents. The Phase is also packed with controls. In total, it offers 18 buttons. There's even a special layer button that turns any button press into a secondary command. That basically doubles the number of actions you can trigger, which makes the device incredibly customizable. Battery life is another highlight. A full charge through USB-C can give you up to 72 hours of use. It connects to up to 3 devices over Bluetooth, and if you're gaming on a PC, you can use a wireless dongle for lower latency. Inside, it uses a 16,000 dpi optical sensor with a 1,000 Hz polling rate, which should deliver very precise tracking. There's also a companion app that lets you customize what every button does. Pixelpaw Labs is also working on an accessory called the Phasegrip accessory. This add-on lets you clip the two controller halves onto a frame that holds your smartphone in the middle. The result is a handheld gaming setup that's similar to the telescopic controllers from brands like Razer, GameSir, and Backbone. For people who travel or like to keep their gear minimal, the idea is pretty appealing. Instead of carrying both a mouse and a separate game controller, you'd only need one device that can do both jobs. Of course, the big question is how it will feel in real-world use. The design looks promising, but things like comfort, build quality, and overall performance will really determine whether it can compete with popular gear like the Logitech MX Master 3S or dedicated controllers such as the PowerA Battle Dragon controller. Right now, the Phase is still in development. The design is in the patent process, and the team still needs to complete several steps before it reaches customers. That includes finalizing the hardware, building injection molds for the plastic parts, passing certification and regulatory testing, producing pilot batches, and then scaling up for mass production. Because of that, it'll take some time before people can actually get their hands on it. The company plans to launch a crowdfunding campaign on Kickstarter later on. The expected retail price is $159, with a delivery window around December 2026 to January 2027. If you're interested early, Pixelpaw Labs is offering a $20 pre-order reservation. That amount will be credited once the Kickstarter campaign begins. And it also gives you a 15% discount, bringing the final price down to about $115. The first wave of shipping is planned for customers in the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, Germany, France, the Netherlands, Australia, Japan, and Singapore. After that, the company says it will expand to more countries depending on demand.